back to painting and decorating. What is one of the best tools that you can have in your kit? Well, it's one of these electric plane. Absolutely brilliant they are. The amount of times on a job you come to paint the doors and you go to shut them and they just won't shut because they've swelled or they've not been fitted properly. So 9 out of 10 times, you want to fix it for your customer. You ask them, do you want this door fixed? And they say yes. And they're quite easy to do half the time. 9 out of 10 doors you can fix, but you've got to double check how much you can take off and things like that, because sometimes you do have to adjust hinges, or you have to adjust the lock itself. So you have to work that out per door. The old planes, the hand ones, they're okay, but when you want to do a quick job and doing quite a few doors and take it off, usually you can get away with 2mm off the side, and usually they shut. I think this goes up to 1.5mm, so you can double check how much you need to take off first off. Usually one pass with 1.5 is enough just for the door to be shutting. Especially with some of these paints now, water-based paints, it's a lot thicker than oil when it dries, so you can find that it builds up very quick, and this will cut through the paint as well, straight off the edges. Sometimes you find you have to either take some off the top or the bottom of the door, but again, you have to work that out per door. And honestly, the amount of times I've planed a door now and the customer is just so happy the fact that they can shut the door. Usually ends up as a bathroom door or something like that. So I'll give you a quick close-up of this, and then I'll show you in use. A quick look at the box first. Got the wattage 550, so it's got a cutting depth adjustment, 3 V grooves for chamfering edges, and a parking rest on the back so you don't damage the blade. Also, you can plane with it, you can chamfer edges with it, and you can also do some routing out with it up to 8mm in depth. So it's a pretty good machine to have. Let's have a quick look. That's the adjustment for the depth. Very easy to use, and you can also use that as a grip when you're pushing up the door. It's also, you can connect it to a dust extractor. It's also got this little dust bag that you can put on the side to collect any rubbish. You've got to be really careful with that. Don't be just throwing it around on the floor. Although it's got this safety bracket on the back to protect the blade, you still don't want to be throwing it about, because that can always just move on you. It's got a safety trigger on it, so you press the button in, pull the trigger. You can't pull the trigger without pressing the button in. And on the bottom there, you can see these grooves, and they're for chamfering edges to make them a bit smoother, so you've not got sharp corners. It's a really good machine to have. So let's have a look at it in action. Just to show you how it works, I've got this piece of wood here. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to do a video actually showing you me playing a door. So make sure you've got the depth set, and you've got to start with the first piece of wood sitting there, and make sure it's nice and flush as you're doing the movement before you come to the blade. When you come to the end, you've got to try and make sure that that blade finishes over the end, but also you don't just go boom and push it off the end. As you're coming towards the end, you really have to slow down and then allow that last bit just to do its work. Otherwise you can split the end of the wood. Again, trigger, safety switch, press your safety switch. Absolutely perfect. It's lovely that. And then you can chamfer the edges using one of the grooves. Always allow it to slow down before you put it down. There you go. You can see that nice edge there. Like I say, it's really good machine to have in your toolkit. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you in the next one.